Hello and welcome to Lord Havoc's Marvel Champions Custom Content Extravaganza. I have another creator spotlight for you. This one may be a little bit familiar to watchers of the stream and the videos. TTS has this incredibly annoying habit of like glitching out if someone joins the game. Like I don't see it, looks perfectly fine for me, but the person who joins the game, it glitches out on them. And so to fix that, what I do is I swap to another mod and then just come back to my save game. And the one that I swapped to is Matty, is Asterix Matty, because it's the very first one there, and it's in like bright white letters on a red background, so it just draws your eye. Without further ado, I actually have Matty with me today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here, and I will just pretend as if I have a marketing genius and I did all that on purpose on my TTS mod.
You didn't intentionally put an asterisk in front of your name so it was first?
Yeah, sure. Let's just say I did.
You and XB have done the same thing. XB is the same. They've got an asterisk as well, but yours is very bright. It's like right in your face, which is great. Thank you very much for joining me. This is great. We haven't interacted a lot.
No.
And that's part of the reason I do this is to sort of rectify that, right? Is we have actually featured one of your creations on the stream though, is Kaz played your Ka-Zar,
Yeah.
which was awesome. I was a big
Yeah.
fan, and so was he. So yeah, it was very
Great.
very
Great.
cool.
Love to
So
hear
you've appeared. And it wasn't just your mod that appeared just as a guest star. Your creation has as well. So
Yeah. I think Kaz did an awesome job piloting Ka-Zar on that one. I think, and for me, it was just a super like honor and privilege just to be able to watch like a live game. There's just so much insight I got just watching you guys play, and
awesome.
him playing my set too. So yeah, brought tremendous joy to me watching that. So yeah, thank you so much for
That's
just
awesome.
having that featured.
Yeah, no worries at all. Appreciate it. I'll pass that on to young Cash. So I did my little mini intro, but would you be okay to talk about yourself, sort of?
Yeah. So my name is Matt. I go by Matty on the Marvel Custom Content Discord. Let's see what else about me. I know I live in the States on the East Coast, so it's a bit of a time gap between the two of us here. So, but other than that, as far as my involvement with the game, involvement with custom content too, I think I did a lot of my creations in 2021 and 2022. So like for like a year and a half or so. And I think I kind of dropped off from creating and a bit from the game itself. Like once the X-Men wave kind of went through,
Gotcha.
um, I feel like it's not uncommon. I think the more
Yeah, I've heard that a bit. I've heard that a bit actually. Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know if there was a real rhyme or reason for myself there, but you know, I guess yeah, just X-Men just didn't hit it the same way for me as like everything else. Like, but yeah, anyway, yeah, Marvel Champions. Yeah, I got it. I got the game like January 2020. So like, and actually, it's really funny. So I remember seeing a Team Covenant like preview of the game on YouTube
Okay.
and thinking to myself, "Oh my goodness, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Wow.
Like,
Cool.
I can't wait to play a game where I feel like I'm Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
So I put it very high on my Christmas wish list that year.
You should have just
And
cut everything else off, and you should just this is my Christmas wish
I
list.
essentially
Marvel
did. Like,
Champions.
on Amazon, you can like, set the priority and like
Yep.
how much you want something. I put like the absolute highest. Well,
Love it.
Christmas came and went, and I thought for sure I would be getting a nice box, like a
Yeah.
box, whatever. Nothing. And I was like, all right. Like, I don't know
So
how I
you're
could
digging, you're
telegraph
digging
it
through
better
the
to
underwear and
everybody.
the socks, and you're like, "Where's my Marvel
Yeah.
Champions? What's going on?"
Pretty much, I thought I was waiting for it, right? And I thought it was
Yeah.
like a joke. It's like, okay, where's the real gift, guys?
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't get it for Christmas, so I immediately went to Amazon and ordered it for myself. So yeah, it finally
Excellent.
came January 2020. Obviously, we all know what happened 2020, and it was honestly, I think it saved a lot of my sanity during a lockdown because it was one of the
Awesome.
few things that I could do like solo, right? And
Yeah.
so I was playing that for like probably a good year, I think, before I even started thinking about or realizing there was custom content, and anything like that. Like, I want to say I was I realized that this community existed, I think through Facebook. I was on the
Cool.
Marvel Champions Facebook group, and I want to say
Yep.
either Odysseus or ES or Design Hacker, one of them, right? Because
Yep.
one of them
They're all there.
posted their content, yeah, and I think that Facebook group had like a, I don't know if they still do because I'm not even on Facebook anymore, really, but they had like a custom content like Sunday or something like that, where
Yeah, you're
people that
only
like that
allowed
was
to
like,
post custom content on the Sunday.
yeah. I don't know what that was all about,
That's
why
because
they would,
they
but
get
anyway,
really annoyed if it's not on the Sunday. It's like this is custom. This is not official. It's like calm down, dude. And I got them really
right,
I
right.
got them really agitated because I'm in Australia, right? And so I'm a day ahead of all of you.
Mhm.
Right? I'm in the future by 12 hours. And so I posted on my Sunday, which was their Saturday, and they're like, "But it's not
Oh,
Sunday." And I was like, "Dude, time
oh
zones
my
exist.
goodness.
It's Sunday,
Right,
7
exactly,
a.m."
right.
They're like, "Oh, okay, no worries." And it was fun. After that one person complained, everybody else was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, good." So now we've actually got
Right,
two
right.
days of custom content.
That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, so I want to say, yeah, I think I had that's when I kind of realized this whole community existed. But even at that same time, I was starting to like. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was coming out
Mm,
on Disney Plus.
right.
So just for the sake of like understanding the like general lore, I went to go like read a lot of like uh, Captain America Sam Wilson runs.
Cool.
And the whole time I was reading it, all I could think about was how would he like feel in Marvel Champions. So it was like
That's cool.
I feel like everything I looked at was just from the lens of this game, and I just realized I just have to make something. I don't. It might be total garbage, but I just have to make something.
Did you like go to
And so
bed thinking about like customs, like mechanics and stuff?
kind of
You're just
actually,
like
yeah,
lying in bed, like how would this work with these wings and
yeah,
stuff?
almost like Zach Galifianakis and all the like numbers streaming
Yeah.
around my head. Yeah.
Awesome.
Not kind of honestly, like yeah, I would just like sit up and be like, just jot an idea down, right? And
Nice.
but I mean, I think that design is probably pretty garbage by at least my general standard or many general standards. But yeah,
Which
it definitely whet my appetite. I think overall.
which one's this? Which design's garbage?
It's not even on my table.
There. Are you talking about Sam Wilson?
I
Because
am,
it's not on
yeah.
here.
It's not. I
Ah,
I didn't even have TTS back then. Not even. Yeah, I want to say I had joined the community. I started like looking around the tutorials and started following it.
right.
And I mean, at that time, Hitch already had his templates out, so it was pretty, you know,
Life changing.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those
Absolutely.
templates. Seriously.
Absolutely. Like he made it so easy. But yeah, so I just kind of like, try to figure it out on my own. And yeah, I created a hero set, I think, for Captain America Sam Wilson. I think I posted it and they didn't know what to do with it. And someone was like, "Oh yeah, I'll make a mod for you." And so it's probably somewhere. I don't know where, but
Cool.
uh,
Oh, here it
I
is in
don't.
your G drive. I've got your G drive up.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, there it is
Okay.
there. So is there
Okay.
anything
So
else
it does
missing?
exist
What else
somewhere.
is missing? No, everything else is there.
No, that's
Yeah,
about it.
that's the
Yeah.
only
I
one.
mean, I was pretty unimaginative with that one. I think it was. Like I still had. I carried a lot of similar concepts from Captain America, like from the core set,
Hmm.
but I kind of sprinkled in some things that I felt made Sam special, which is kind of his abilities to like communicate and engage with birds, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of try to like sprinkle, like mash the two together in some ways. So yeah, that was kind of like the crux of that stuff. But that at least just like kind of whet my appetite for like what was in this community, I guess, and what was available. And of course, I started seeing what other people were doing, just absolutely blew my mind. Yeah, there's some just amazing creators in this community, and
Yeah.
just like a lot of people that I really have tons of admiration for, as far as like what they're able to create and come up with. It's just, yeah, it's just amazing.
Do you want to name any names? Is there anybody who's like particularly inspired you?
Um, yeah, certainly. There's probably names that are like probably like of from my vintage, I suppose.
From your
I
vintage.
mean,
You make it
I mean,
sound like you're from the 1890s.
I did, right? It feels like a long time ago to me, I guess. I know, even outside of this, when you reached out to me, I was so hesitant to talk about that, or to have a chat because I feel like it's been so long.
Right.
Um, no, yeah, let's see. Well, I think the people that I really admired a lot was Odysseus. I think he had some really great designs out there at that time. But Rainey was another one, and he was also super helpful. I think overall, just kind of giving lots of tips and pointers, and just thoughts and ideas whenever I'd share stuff in like my creator channel. Captain Scorp as well.
Yeah.
ES too. He's just, I mean, he just is like a content machine. Uh, Design hacker obviously is kind of big in the community, but he's just on another plane, I think, overall. And
Yeah.
yeah, his designs are great because like he's not really playing inside the same sandbox that everyone else is, right? He's just basically like, you know what, I'm just going to make my own game,
Yeah.
inside of Marvel Champions. You guys will feel,
Yeah.
yeah, he's got some pretty crazy ones there. But yeah, those are kind of my top. I would say, Blue HG has some really really great
Yeah.
stuff as well.
Cool.
Yeah, those are I think some of the ones that I had kind of really looked up to overall, like as far as what like theme could look like, and aesthetics could be like, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, I want to say I remember Blue did Mantis, and he was sharing like a lot of his progress with Mantis, and if I remember correctly, he was like drawing over other like images, right? He was like literally drawing Mantis in some position, right? Like from, I don't even know what the source image was, but he literally drew a new character
Wow.
that looked like Mantis over. Yeah, I want to say that I don't know.
So he
Maybe
couldn't
you'll do
find
a
Mantis in like a certain position, so he'd grab somebody else in that position and then draw Mantis over the top of it.
exactly,
Whoa.
and that completely blew my mind. That
Yeah.
that was like, and then I think he was sharing his progress too in his channel at the time as well, as far as like how that image was going. It was just, yeah, just completely blown
I
away.
gotta make a note. Make sure I mention that when I speak to him. If I speak for yeah. So that's amazing. Cool. So you did such an amazing job introducing yourself that you've actually like already answered like three of the questions. So
Oh,
I don't even really have to do it, but I do want to sort of go like a little bit back into it. So, um, what what's I've lost track of what I was trying to say. So you said you've been away for a while. So obviously you're from that era of I call it the pre-Havoc era. I was just while I'm doing these spotlights, I'm hearing a lot from people that are from that sort of timeline, right? So,
yeah, yeah.
and then I show up on the scene, and now I know everybody who shows up from then on, right? Um, and I'm bloody jealous. I'm so jealous of what appeared for everything I'm hearing, like people's stories and stuff of just the way everybody sort of collaborated and the sort of the events that
Mm,
was happening and stuff. And you're part of that, right? So I think that's awesome. But you just mentioned a
yeah,
couple of times that you've been away for a while. So did you
yeah.
lose interest in the customs, or did you lose this in the game, or is this like a personal reason or
Um,
something that you don't want to talk about?
yeah, it's a mix of a lot of things. I mean, definitely personal life played a part in it. I've got, kids and a job, and I was spinning up a second job of sorts, a little side hustle at the same time too.
Side hustle, cool.
Um, and I don't know, it's just one of those things, especially with custom content. It You make it for yourself, yeah, but you also make it for others.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if you're not getting a lot of like signals or feedback, like
yeah.
the reward isn't, on the payoff, I suppose, isn't as high, so it kind of drops off of your mind, as you're kind of
It can
like,
be demoralizing, yeah. It's
a little bit,
yeah,
actually. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. I think on the worst sense, right? It's either demoralizing or neutral, right?
yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah, there's a bit of that. I think there's a part of it too where like the official game itself was just growing so much
Mm,
that I was even thinking about, like, I don't know, 'cause I feel like a lot of my designs are like not too like far out of left field, right? But I feel like a lot of the ideas that like I was having in my brain
mm.
end up being in an official content. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not going to do that. So it was a part of that. It was a part of I wasn't as much into the mutants. Honestly, I didn't
Yeah.
like. I loved them growing up, but I didn't realize how like just didn't resonate with me as much as an adult for some reason.
That
I don't
surprises me
know, but
because 80% of the content on your mod here is mutants.
oh right, yeah, exactly. That's true. I got four of them right here. It's really funny. Yeah,
Well, it's actually
that's it.
6 of them because they're in bags. You got Wolverine Noir and Angel Noir.
Oh, that's right. I do have stuff like that. Hilarious.
But the actual
Well,
the mutant wave
I think that was
itself
actually
isn't
part of
fun.
it because I think I was making mutants, and then when they came, I was like, oh, well, they'll probably come out with this. Like, I think Domino, right?
Yeah.
When she was coming out, and I was like, oh, okay, well, and I was definitely interested in FFG's take on her, which is very very different than mine. But yeah, I don't know actually.
I haven't asked this question of any other creator, but it's just popped in my brain. Do you prefer your version of Domino or the official version?
I haven't played the official one enough, right? I kind of like I collected the first mutant box and I stopped after that, so I didn't really get a chance to play her. I only
Gotcha.
kind of just know her from what was like shared online.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I think I remember seeing the official Domino and really liking her actually. I thought it
Cool.
was really cool. They did a lot with the wild resources, right, for her,
Hmm.
and that's how they play with her luck.
It
Yeah,
didn't.
mine was a little bit different.
Okay. That sort of
Um,
question didn't really work for me for a while, for a long time because I didn't have any creations that didn't exist yet in
mm,
BFG. Um, but I do now because I have my own Nick Fury. He's actually Ultimate Nick Fury. But now there's a
ooh,
Nick Fury
nice.
coming out, so I'll be able to answer that question myself. And I will most likely prefer
Yeah.
my version. We'll see how it goes. So,
What do you think of the official Nick Fury with at least what's been previewed, right? It's
yeah,
not actually out yet.
yeah, it's just been previewed.
What do you
Yeah,
thought?
it comes out with a shield box. He's part of the shield box, and yeah, he looks okay, I suppose. He looks all right. I'm more interested in Maria. Um,
Yeah,
mainly
she looks
because
great.
she looks cool, and also the screams of anguish from everybody who now can't play the Maria ally is going to be deafening. From myself included. I mean, I use her all the time. I can't speak. I can say that because I do
Yeah,
it myself. So yeah,
yeah,
I think it's going to be fascinating. Um,
yeah,
well, let's
yeah.
talk.
Her design's pretty neat 'cause it really opens up everything that's like
Well, it's very Shield.
everything that's already in the card pool, right? Yeah, all the
Yeah,
shield stuff. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It,
yeah.
it brings
I
Shield
love
back
that.
into the thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I love that aspect of these living card games. Just like it just makes it feel so much more alive that way. Like that new cards can like breathe new life into old cards.
yeah. Although they recently announced that they're not printing the old cards anymore. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I must be behind on this news.
Yeah, so I'll give you the dot points just because I don't want to annoy people. So it's
Because they probably heard it a million times, right?
yeah, they're basically they have a set pointing stone of the timeline of the history of the game where they're going to just no longer develop for or print that stuff, the older stuff. So as each get release comes out, one of the old ones drops off. So currently they're not reprinting
Oh,
Cap and Doctor Strange from the first series. And so if you don't already have Cap and Doctor Strange, you better go buy them now because you're not going to get them ever again. That sort of thing.
hmm.
And it's they say it's to help them in their design space, and they're also saying that it's just not worth it to them to print the older stuff, which is crazy because they go for like $180 each on
I was
eBay.
about to say, so you're telling me I should go put my Cap and Doctor Strange on eBay
Yeah,
right
if you
now?
need
That's what
some
I'm
if you need some
hearing.
quick money, they're
Yeah,
going for like 160, 180 at the moment. So
dang.
yeah, so they've
Okay.
already said they're not reprinting them. What they should do is release them as print and plays, like official purchasable print and
Yeah,
plays, and then people can then just go and
yeah,
get them. But as it is, people are just going to proxy them off,
right,
Call of Heroes anyway, right? So yeah,
right.
so I don't know how far back they go to where they're stopping in terms of the boxes, but if you don't have any of the older boxes, I suggest you go grab them while you got the chance.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Hmm.
they go from there. Anyway, enough about Ed. Let's talk about you. So let's talk about your creations. So I've got them up. So the only
Yeah,
one that's not on here is Sam,
yeah.
and I've got the table up, and you've got a connection to it. So uh, I'm going to throw this question at you. Let's see how you do it. What is your
Okay.
favorite your creation of your own?
Um, I can tell you which ones I I'm the least proud of.
Why does everybody
Or
say that?
I like the least.
Why does everybody
You know,
say
like,
that? That's always the response I get. It's like, oh, let's talk about the ones I don't like. It's like, why would you do
you know
that?
what it is? I think as creators, like it's I don't know, maybe at least for me at least, like I'm just a bit of like never feeling satisfied with where
Yeah,
we left it or
gotcha.
leave it, right? And always knowing where like I don't know where the bodies are buried, I guess, in our designs, and just like is that one little thing that just like is driving you crazy of like I don't really like that, but let's just put it out there, right? And so I think
The bodies
I
are
got a
buried.
bit of that in every one of them.
I love it. So you're a true artist in every sense. You're just not satisfied.
Yeah, and that's why I just walk
You got to
away from
tweak.
it, right?
You
So
got
I
to
don't have to
walk.
worry about it anymore.
Exactly right. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, well, let's talk about your least favorite then. All right, why not?
No, I think some of them has sentimental value. I think Domino has the most sentimental value for me.
Okay.
I think that's really when I started getting a good sense of like how to think about the game. I think and how to think about design. Not to say she's perfect or anything like that by any means, but that's really when I started kind of like getting a sense of like maybe like how I wanted to approach it, and well, a lot of that's informed by many other people in the community. Like I remember, I think Scorp actually got on a call with me, which I thought was really cool
Oh,
and
yeah,
really
amazing.
like amazing that he did that. Right? Like
Yeah.
I would never think anyone would kind of take time out
All
of
right.
their own schedule to like talk to somebody like that and
I got to tell
kind of
you,
like
I got to ask you, was he walking his dog?
good question. I don't know. You might have been. I don't remember.
I've spoken to him a couple of times, and both times he's been walking his dog, and he must have the most
So
beautiful dog in the world because the very first time I spoke to him, I swear at least 12 girls, and it was always girls, would stop him and like pat the dog, and I could hear in the background like girls' voices. It's like, "Oh, she's so pretty," and I was like, "Scorp, what's going on, bro?" It's not me, Dave.
nice,
It just keeps happening.
nice.
Like, all right,
That's funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, Domino I think has the most sentimental value for me. I know recently Spider-Man Noir and Ka-Zar have been getting some attention through the
Yep.
community approval system, which I think is really cool. I mean, I created
Yep.
those like 3 years ago, right? So it's been awesome that
So
some
you
other
didn't even
people.
nominate Noir. Like he got nominated and then got sealed.
Yes,
That's cool. That's so
yeah.
cool. You must
I
have.
haven't. I've been more like for the past couple of years, been more of like a lurker in our community,
Right.
kind of like dropping in here and there, like every month or so, just kind of like seeing what people are doing and maybe commenting here or there. But yeah, I haven't. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, all the stuff that Carmi and like Unicorn have been doing, and as they've been modding this community, has been really really amazing. And
Hmm.
this whole community approval system has been really great. Great way to give attention to people's creations really, and just getting feedback to the creators, and kind of highlighting good designs and stuff like that. So I think it's just really fantastic. I really wish that was around, when I was creating, back in 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just amazing just to, see where the community is at now overall. It's just, really awesome.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you brought him up. Spider-Man Noir is my favorite creation of yours. What I
Thank you.
think you do really well, like your strength is in theme. You really nail. You can just see you really nail the theme, which I love. I love theme. Sometimes to detriment to my own creations because the theme's number one. And Spider-Man Noir, it just breathes Spider-Man Noir to me. It's just amazing.
Mhm.
Can I ask you some questions in
Thank
terms
you.
of the design space? So,
Sure, I'll try to remember as much as I can
all
and try to
right.
answer you. Yeah.
Why the Great Depression mechanic during deck building? Your deck may not include any basic or aspect
Yeah.
resource cards. What was the thinking behind
Uh,
that?
well, I think I had a good sense that I wanted these clues to be special and powerful, I suppose, and kind of they were resources for his case to be building his case, right? And
Mm-hmm.
as he's building, so like they themselves are clue cards,
Yep.
and so just for the sake of I guess balance overall, right? I think that was my general thought around it overall.
Right. So it started off
At
actually
that
as
time,
balance and then theme.
yes,
Right.
yes,
Okay. I think it's genius. It's
yeah.
this whole design here is, I mean, it's the brooding in the rain, the picture, and I actually misread it the very first time I read it. I actually misread it. I thought it said no basic cards. And I was like, what?
Mm.
You can't tell me I'm not using endurance, friend. And then I, of course, read the resource bit. It was like,
Actually, it's really funny. There was a version I originally started with him where I had him only use basic cards.
that
'Cause
was
it
the thing I thought
gray,
when I read it. It said you can't use basic, and I actually thought to myself, wouldn't it be the other way around? Like
Yeah.
the depression that you could only use basic, and then of course
hmm
my dyslexia left. Or maybe I had an original version of your card and it actually did say that. I don't know, but no, I finally figured it out. Okay, cool. All right, and then the clues aspect because the detective and all that sort of stuff, right? Were you inspired from the actual Spidey set, and then you sort of done your take of it, or you just tried to veer away from that as much as possible?
Mm, consciously, I don't think I really was. I was not inspired by it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing maybe like his big attack, that 3 event attack. Well, let me put it this way: like swinging web kick is kind of that like,
Iconic, standard.
yeah, artifact standard exactly
Yeah,
for like what the the cost ratio should be, right?
yeah,
So that was kind of my starting point for like, okay, if he's going to have a big attack, right? What would that look like? How does that even still hook into his primary mechanical hook here overall with the
yeah. It's more powerful with the clues, right? Which is
right,
his thing. Yeah.
right,
Um,
right.
I always got that
Um,
from that Noir's not quite as strong as 616 Peter, right? Like
mhm.
he's more detective than he is
Yeah,
combat.
he's just a dude, right?
Yeah, he's a dude. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was just the whole like deck milling stuff, right? Try to
Yeah.
like dig in and try to find like this. That was a really like for me when I kind of had that idea for him as a detective, right? That's when everything just kind of clicked for me overall.
Yep.
There was a first iteration of this that was a little bit clunky,
Right.
but yeah, after some play tests, I think it started getting refined a little bit more and more.
And that's when you changed it to resource, so you couldn't get digging deep.
Digging deep did not exist at that time, actually.
Oh, so it's just a happy coincidence
It was,
because
yeah,
that works thematically, doesn't it? I mean, you can't have him digging around just. Although I guess you could
yeah.
say that he found some change in his back pocket or something. I don't know. Like, I really go into
It was
theme
funny,
if you haven't
actually.
figured.
It was funny getting some of the feedback from the community approval system because there was people who would like deck build with Beast, right? And so
Oh,
if I recall Beast, right, he can like
gives you
grab
printer a resource.
resources,
Yeah.
and Beast didn't exist when I designed him, but I was like, that's genius, like
Yeah.
it's a genius way to deck build here. But yeah, this
Good
I
old
like
beast.
Felicia here a lot too, as far as what she did.
Yeah. She's a bad kitty cat.
Yeah,
And the quotes and stuff. And I gotta ask, how hard was it getting artwork?
hard.
Did you have to do any like special like manipulation and stuff for it, or you just
Yeah, I think nearly every. Gosh, you might have to bring him up, but well, I can tell you this: Felicia's apartment here, that was not the original artwork that I had. I changed that after I went through the sealing process.
right?
This artwork isn't even a Marvel comic.
Oh wow!
I forget what comic it came from because I was just like Google searching just anything that had a very similar like aesthetic
Right.
overall.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, this is exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what comic this, but I started like pouring through all those issues and then I happened to find this one, especially with the cat walking on the
Perfect. Yeah.
yeah, so
On the
that
fire
would,
escape.
yeah, on the fire escape, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his defense event, the zero cost defense, I remember had to work with that one a good bit. Even both of his attacks. I think the attack he has one that he's like landing on the car.
It's
I had to
curtains
like
for you.
take
Yeah.
a lot of speech bubbles out of that one too.
Gotcha.
Um,
Did you
but
do
yeah,
it, or did you
there's
get the art team to do it?
I do all of them actually.
Oh wow, that's cool. I wish I could do it.
I actually find that to be the most fun part of the process. Actually, I feel like when I get the speech bubble out and it actually looks decent, I feel like a mastermind. I feel like like I've like I'm just some super whatever Photoshop design guru or something like that.
Awesome.
It's
Um,
very satisfying.
Hax was helping me with some Photoshop stuff or Photopea shop stuff the other day, and I revealed and I just he was so patient because I just revealed just how dumb I was with that sort of stuff, and he's like, "How are you making your thumbnails like now?" And I was, with paint, and the look on his face. I thought he was going to fall out of his chair.
That's so funny.
Paint.
Yeah. So if I understand correctly, he uses InDesign, like everyone uses Photopea or
Illustrator
Photoshop, right?
or InDesign or something. Like he's a pro. You know, he's
Yeah,
like,
that's what he does, right?
here I am using paint. I was like, that doesn't look too bad. He goes, like, well, now that I know that you did it in paint, that doesn't look too bad.
Like I use Notepad. This is all ASCII art.
Don't tell him that. That would be a disaster. You'd have a heart attack. All right. Well, let's move on to Moira, if you don't mind.
Okay,
Another one.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
one of your excellent designs, and I think this is
Okay.
this one has a special place for me because it uses the sort of special upgrades business that
Okay.
my Maria does, my Mary Marvel does. So I've got a
That's
soft spot
awesome.
in my heart for it, and I love this iteration of Moira as well. Just this storyline.
Mm,
Yeah, so
it was amazing.
it was so cool, so very cool. So
Yeah.
let's dive into this bit. Why the upgrades? The sort of the mechanic there to the
Yeah.
memories.
Before I start, thank you for sharing that because I don't think I heard much about her overall.
Oh,
So this might be the first time I've actually heard a praise, but just it be just like just feedback in general. I've gotten maybe a little bit from her, but
oh,
I
there
never
you go.
got a good sense how it's landed with folks. So it's really awesome hearing that from you right now.
Oh, cool. I like it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
I haven't played her on the stream, but I did when I was making Mary. I did a deep
mhm.
dive of every character that I could find, every custom character that I could
Mm,
find that has like a similar shtick, just to make sure I wasn't ripping
mhm.
anything off. So, yeah, so I dived deeper into her because I was like, well, she's probably the closest to what it is that I'm trying to
Yeah.
achieve. So,
Cool. I'll have to look at your design then too.
cool,
I'd love to see your riff.
love it.
Um, yeah. So sorry, your question again was what?
But how did you come up with this? So it's, I mean, Mary gets all of her upgrades sort
Yeah.
of as the game progresses, whereas you have this thing where she has her four different her lives, right? She's her past
Yeah.
lives essentially, right? Memories of those
Yeah.
lives, and she resets. That's her mutant ability is to reset, right,
Yeah.
and have a new life. And you represent this with the upgrades. Isolanus, scientist, warmonger. I don't know where this outfit's coming from. She meant to be Apocalypse there. What's the deal?
I think so. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Educator, and then her abilities after using a basic power resolve the special ability. They've all got special things,
Yeah.
so they all have a. So this is the thing that I did as well. This is why it's so close to Mary is that my upgrades have a permanent ability and then a
Mm.
special ability that gets activated
Hmm.
in some way,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And you've got yeah, so they activate the special ability on there. But what I really love is the built-in mini game of how you
Hmm.
control these memory cards. Right? So
Hmm.
you flip two to active, but also as an action you can flip one to dormant
Yeah.
in order to then flip another one to active, depending on the situation you've got. Kind of like
Yeah.
Storm in a way, in a weather, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot more intuitive. I think the Moira version of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you could just talk about how you come up with it and go from there.
This is actually not even. This is not the first iteration of her. The very first iteration I had, um, all had to do. I was actually trying to force the player to die. And
You
she
don't want
would
that,
be upgraded with every life, right?
right?
And she only had a finite number of lives. I made that design. I posted it,
And
and
did ESA
I got a
this would
number.
be bad?
Yeah, I got a number of people saying like, "Why do I want to play this? Why do I want to die? This is terrible. This is a bad idea. Don't do this." And I was a little dejected. I kind
Mm,
of got in my feelings. I'm not gonna lie,
mm,
but
mm.
honestly, like that night, I was like, okay, I'll take it as really good feedback. Let me think about how this might actually work.
Gotcha.
And I think maybe the next day or two or so, I kind of reworked her a bit, and this is kind of what I thought about there. Yeah, how, um, I think it might have been Blue actually. Someone was like, "Oh, like think about it. Like maybe you could think about it like Adam from Netrunner, right? He has a I think I like something about directives or something like that, right? That he has to choose at the beginning of the game that he has to kind of follow."
Hmm.
But I kind of thought about, okay, maybe from that perspective, it might be like, oh, she has these memories of her lives that actually, like that's her power, right? Her power is that she's at her last life now, and she's powerful because she has all this knowledge gained from all the previous lives of what could happen, the skills she's kind of built up as she's pursued different things in each of those lives, and that's kind of like where I kind of got the overall like idea from, and like I always like to think of the theme first, and then kind of like
Yes.
let it kind of fall from there. So yeah, that's kind of where I kind of netted out with her, and then yeah, once I kind of got to that, then it was more just like building out the rest of her set was more just like, oh, it all depends on what memories, I guess, or what past life memories like that you have active, right?
Hmm.
It's very like weak events on its own, but with but its potential is unlocked really by whatever memory you've kind of unlocked there, right? And then that itself, as you described, that's the puzzle, is like when's the right time to activate these memories, and when, and in order to do so I got to flip down, so when do I flip down, so kind of like thinking about that whole puzzling part of it is kind of like my thought on that whole design.
Okay. Can I ask why isolated scientist and educator are the same on both sides, but Warmonger changes to one of her different identities, assassin, as Dorman?
As my TTS mod's probably broken.
Oh, oh,
It's definitely not meant to
is
be.
it meant to be more than 4 upgrades?
She, I think, should have, yeah. I think Assassin should be its own.
Yeah, assassin is missing. Okay, cool. That was my
Yeah.
better question. I was like, "Where's assassin
I'll, I'll
gone?"
have I'll have to think of
Okay,
that.
cool. Right, sweet. Cool. That pleases me, 'cause I was like, "Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense." Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. Sweet. So she comes into play with all four, and then it's up to you, like I said, in like that mini game, to sort of decide what's going to be active at what time to whatever the situation that you're in, and then her cards sort of tap into that, right? If I spread
Mhm.
them out, I love the spread function, but sometimes it doesn't like to play well. Um, yeah, so reincarnation, like things like that, which I love. The picture of the baby, that's awesome.
Mhm.
And so where she's essentially immortal, right? I mean, that's the whole idea, right? And she taps into
Yeah.
those ability. There's Markswoman. There's her assassin ability active. Um, yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Where in your rankings would you put her?
Mm, she's one of the ones that I wouldn't mind revisiting actually. There's a couple ideas that I like here. There's a few ideas that I like less.
Right, like what?
Um, no- I don't.
I'll put you on the spot.
I don't know. It's again, it's been a while, so I'm almost like looking at this with fresh eyes a little bit right now.
Right.
I don't know actually.
We should play a game, Mary and Mara.
I,
Mary and Moira
okay,
versus Apocalypse. That
okay,
that would be sweet.
yeah,
Doesn't work thematically, but hey, it's across the universe. Who cares?
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe I'm saying this because it's been a while for me, but
Yeah.
also like I don't think I tested her as much as I did other designs too.
Oh, okay.
Like I
Right.
maybe just did a couple games with her and a couple of aspects maybe, or like some of the aspects, but it wasn't as like
You didn't go down the testing checklist, like all
yeah, I guess not. And
all,
like
all
and
the
maybe
aspects with and without
yeah,
symbiote suit. It's just
right,
just
right, yeah,
standard
against,
expert. I mean,
right,
it,
against Venom Goblin
yeah,
or something
against
like that,
Venom. Yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly. Like three different levels of villain. Rhino, Venom, Goblin, Red Skull. The testing that people do it impresses me so much because I can't be bothered doing
Yeah,
that. I've got
yes,
creations I have never even
yeah.
tested in things like protection because I'm not a fan. Stuff like that. And then people like testing like the custom aspects as well, like determination
Mhm.
and stuff. And I'm like, what? I ain't got time for that. Um,
Yeah. Actually, as I'm looking at her set now, I think she could use some way to do some of the memory flipping in Hero, even, right? Instead of only having that in Alter Ego.
Mm.
I think that would be helpful for her to kind of, well, helpful for, I think, for the player, right? To know that there's an opportunity to, not have to flip down if they need to. Uh, anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of like looking at this live right now for the.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
but this is great because now I'm really excited. So you said you had like a bit of a hiatus, like you've sort of been a bit dormant and stuff. We're now talking about your creations. You're thinking about it. It's like maybe some tweaks are needed
Yeah,
here. So can I
yeah.
reveal to the audience? Are you coming back? Have I pulled you back in?
You've definitely made me like look at my designs again, and I think, I mean, so when I stopped. I went through I did a bunch of noir characters. I actually wanted to do more. Actually, I actually created a whole noir detective aspect, and I never. It's in
Cool.
various phases of draft. Yeah,
Oh,
and I was thinking about a lot of the other customs that were out there that like had detectives like Jessica Jones and who's the character from Watchmen? Um,
I'll see.
Rorschach, the guy's name?
Rorschach. Yeah, Rorschach,
Yeah,
whatever his name.
Rorschach.
Yeah,
There's a couple other detective. I think someone had a Howard the Duck. Yeah, I was thinking about them like as like
Detective
how
Chimp.
would they as detectives,
Yep.
right? And of course thinking about my noir characters there too.
Mm.
Um, yeah, they're probably laying somewhere on my local drive somewhere. Yeah, there's I have a whole like whatever Google Doc of just ideas from. So
That's cool.
yeah, your questions will come back maybe honestly. I think for me, if I am playing the game or reading comics, that usually motivates me to create.
Awesome.
And lately, I've been doing neither.
Oh, okay.
And so, seeing a lot of the announcements from the Shields boxes has got me really excited to think about playing the game again, right?
Yeah.
So,
There's quite
and
a
of course, talking with you actually is kind of getting me excited again, honestly.
awesome. That's what I love to hear.
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
yeah,
Really, that's my secret
yeah.
agenda. I say it's to get to know people, but really, I just want you to create more stuff. And
Selfishly,
selfishly, I just want more stuff. That's basically all it is. I want more stuff. I mean, if you can make stuff as good as Noir and Ka-Zar and
Mm,
Moira, then I want more. Give me more.
dang,
Um,
dang. That's about as that's about as great feedback as I can ever hear. So yeah, yeah.
cool.
I have to give what the people want, right?
Have you made customs for any other games?
I have not. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I didn't actually really play card games, really. Actually,
Oh, okay.
this is like my first CCG, LCG, whatever, TCG, whatever you want to call them.
You didn't even play Magic?
When I was a kid, but growing up, yeah, my family didn't really buy that stuff, so I'd more just like be hustling other kids in my class and like borrowing some cards of theirs and we'd play, but it wasn't really.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't really, not really.
A friend of mine's
Uh,
introduction to card games wasn't even Magic. It was what was it called? Redemption. It was like a Christian themed
okay,
card game
okay,
with like angels and the prophet and not the prophets. That's Islam.
okay.
The the apostles and stuff like
Prophets,
that.
the Apostles, and everything
Yeah,
like that.
and
Yeah.
there's a TTS mod for it. So he showed me because I was like, "Come on!" And he's like, "No, legit." It was like sold in stores, and like he found it on GTS and like brought it up, and I was
Is
like,
there custom content for Redemption?
"There is not that I know of, but I gotta say, actually, it wasn't all that bad. Actually, it was alright."
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I
Okay.
poo pooed it, but they didn't like we played a game, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, this is alright. I don't mind
That's hilarious.
this."
Yeah.
Cool. So you
Yeah,
dived you
I
dived
did
right
more
into
of
Marvel
a.
Champions.
What's that
You
again?
dived right into Marvel Champions. Is basically what you're saying.
I did. Yeah. I had like Marvel Legendary. I guess that's a deck building game. That's
Yeah,
hard. It's not.
legendary. That
Not
seems to
a.
be a common sort of gateway
Yeah.
into this.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the games I played were more just like board games. I actually played a lot of Euros, like with my friends and cousins. I guess so. Um.
So for the people
and-
who don't know, can you define a euro?
God. How you define Euros?
That's why I'm asking you because I didn't have to do it.
Best way. I don't know. I always think of it as like there are multiple. strategies to victory, I suppose, and multiple ways to win.
That's pretty
But
much
it's
it.
mostly like everyone's kind of doing their own strategy. I guess.
Everybody's doing something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It's very yeah. How to maximize your economy and build your engine. I think usually is how a lot of them
That's pretty good.
end up going.
That's
Yeah.
better than I would have done. So what's what is like your favorite Euro board game?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know I was going to be asking you questions.
I know. Well, hang it. Well, if I had known that, I wouldn't have said anything. Let's say,
I wouldn't have done this bloody chat if I'd known that.
viticulture. Viticulture is considered a euro, is it not?
Yeah, viticulture is a Euro, and it's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Probably a few other ones in there. I just play whatever they bring to my house.
Oh, okay. So you have like game nights and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, not as much as we used to or anything. It's usually whenever we have like get-togethers and stuff like that too. But yeah,
I'm jealous.
yeah.
My wife refuses to play board games, just refuses, and I've got.
Oh, I don't even. Yeah. There's a few games that have gotten the wife approval. Everything else is just this is too confusing, Matt. Can we do something else?
You're a
Can
lucky
we do the
man.
one that we already know?
If it's not Uno, my wife won't play it.
That's funny. That's great.
She's like,
Just
nah.
replace those with Marvel Champion cards.
That's what I said. I said, I've actually bought a pack with it. It had Marvel superheroes on it, and she was like, "This is lame. Bring back the original one." I was like, "Oh my god."
Marvel Uno.
I've got like a room just full of board games, and she refuses to touch any of them. It's hilarious.
Oh man.
I love her dearly, though. I love her dearly. I don't know if she can hear me.
That's when you know it's true love. That's when you know it's true love.
Yeah, that's true love. Well, we touched on Ka-Zar a bit. So Ka-Zar's actually been on the show. So go check out the episode that has Kaj playing it. What was your thinking behind the mechanic of the basically Zabu just being the goat? It's like it's ridiculous.
I mean, he's a freaking saber-toothed tiger.
I know.
I mean, what more can I say?
And he looks like he's built like a tank.
Yeah. I mean, theme-wise, I was just like, Ka-Zar is just a Tarzan, right? He's just a guy dropped off in the woods, right? But who's the real hero here is his saber-toothed tiger,
Perfect.
right? Like that's what makes him,
Yep.
Like yes, he's got honed skills from living in the jungle all his life, but it's what separates him from a Tarzan is the fact he's got a saber-toothed tiger. So that saber-toothed tiger is going to be as much the star as Ka-Zar was here.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thought of it all. And just like Ka-Zar is nothing with Zabu, right? And so yeah, that's really what I wanted to get. That like they are a pair, they're a duo, they're that's how you're going to win.
Yeah. The common design mistake I think for Ka-Zar would have been to make Ka-Zar sort of buff up and stuff, and have Zabu is just like a side sort of support pet type stuff. But I really like the leaning into Zabu. I mean, you said it perfectly. It's like, who's the actual star of the show here? It's like, who actually does all the stuff? It's Zabu. That's who it is. I mean, even Wolverine shows Zabu respect. It's like, it's all good.
Right.
Don't kill me, please.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. And just the way they interact with each other. And play off his events and all that sort of stuff. It's great.
And it's funny. I look at what's on my table here. Like, I grew up like knowing Marvel only through like the X-Men animated series or the Spider-Man animated series, and I guess now the MCU. So I didn't really know a lot of these characters outside of like those things at all. It's like the game that got me interested in wanting to learn about other characters.
Yeah.
And so it's once I read it, and I made me want to read the comics and understand who they were so that I could create them. And it's just like kind of like virtuous cycle a bit there of, me not only want to create and play, but also to learn and read about these characters. So my process is very slow for that reason, right? Like for Wolfsbane, for example, I literally read everything that she was in.
Yeah.
Just to get a sense of who she was, right?
Showing some New Mutants love.
Yeah, so there's a lot of New Mutants runs that I just read, and I was also looking for good artwork, obviously. But for Ka-Zar as well too. Like I had no idea who he was at all. I was like, Marvel has a Tarzan. What the hell? So I basically read as much as I could about him, and then once I kind of got a good sense of that character, I was like, okay, can I create something here? And that's
Yeah.
usually where, yeah, my overall process is very slow for that reason. But yeah.
Well, thank you for
But
showing
yeah,
Wolfsbane some respect. I love the New Mutants. They were the X-Men team when I first started reading comics, and
mm,
everybody seems to gravitate towards magic, of course,
hmm
maybe Sunspot,
yeah.
but Wolfsbane is always had a special place in my heart. She's
Mm.
she doesn't really want to be
She's
doing
had a
this sort
rough
of stuff.
go of it
She's had
too,
a
man.
rough
She's had
go.
a
Yeah, she's suffered. It's like she doesn't even want to do this. She just wants to chill, man. Just let her chill.
yeah. She might be one I revisit. Actually, I really like my design for her. I love my aesthetics for her. She might be a little OP though. She might be a little strong.
After you make a basic
But
thwart and remove excess threat from a scheme, deal 1 damage to an enemy for each point of excess threat removed. That's not too bad.
yeah, so, yeah. So
What's
basically, it's all about overdoing stuff, I guess.
yeah,
But
always
as you
overdoing.
overdo it, you're also doing some other things. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I also feel like maybe a little bit with the mutant wave. I feel um, like the economics changed a little bit, right? They were definitely more strong, as they probably should have been
yes.
thematically than everything else we saw before then. But
Well, they're Caleb's
yeah.
babies, so he
Mhm.
poured everything into it. It's just that was
Mhm.
his thing. Um, he's also the man that brought
Mm.
us Doctor Strange, so he likes the powerful stuff.
He likes it strong,
He
right?
likes
Yeah,
them strong.
yeah,
That's fine. You
yeah.
do you. Cool. All right. Is there anything that I didn't that either you or I didn't bring up that you were hoping to bring up?
I don't know. Just great conversation, man. I mean, honestly, a massive shout out to you, man, for doing all this. This has been really cool. Seeing all of the conversations you've been having with other creators, and I caught a few of them, so it's been really great, like for myself to learn about them. So hopefully, this is rewarding for other people who stumble on this to learn a little bit about myself here.
Cool.
But I think one thing that I would want to share is for anyone who's like even marginally interested in creating, just come on in, man. Like come do it. Like it's
Yeah.
like I knew nothing coming into it. I'm sure you knew nothing as well,
Yeah.
right? But this community is so very like warm and open, right? And like willing to help.
Yeah.
Even with you talked about artwork, right?
Mm.
There's certain individuals who are basically just like I don't know, basically art contractors for the most part, right? To fix up art for people. But no, I mean, yeah, like and with all of the great work that Hitch has done with the templates and stuff, it's if you have an idea, just start. So I think more than anything else is just like a call to action to anyone to just come in and not be afraid and just to try something.
Love it.
It's super rewarding.
Couldn't have said it better myself, and I'm going to use that as the outro. I would normally say all that myself, but it sounds much better
Ah,
coming from you. That was so cool. That was really cool. And thank you for what you said about the stuff.
yeah,
I'm enjoying it so much, man. I really just the
Dude,
chance to speak to people like you.
your passion comes. I think I told you this as we were chatting on Discord. Like your passion comes out. The good naturedness of it all. I mean, this is just really really fantastic. You do such a great job. So I mean, just massive kudos and yeah.
Thanks. I didn't pay him to say that, folks.
No,
I really appreciate
I
it.
mean that genuinely.
I love it.
Genuinely.
Well, this has been awesome. Thank you very much. I'm glad I got the chance to get to know you.
Likewise.
I, if you, the fact that you even are even slightly thinking about coming back and doing some new stuff or tweaking existing stuff excites me greatly. I was totally down. I would be totally down for a Mary Mara battle.
Hmm.
That would
We
saving
should
the
totally
universe.
do
If we do that at some point, that'd be awesome.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, just the chance to get to know you, I just think is awesome. I think you do. I think you do good stuff. I think you and I sort of think alike in terms of our love of theme,
yeah,
which I really latch onto. I love theme, and
yeah.
Spider-Man Noir is one of the best examples of it I've seen. It's just amazing. Really, really cool.
Wow,
And he's
so
Spidey,
much.
so it's always good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do the usual, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Leave a comment, say hi to Matty. Ask him if he actually did intend to have his mod be the first one in the list. I don't know. He might tell you the truth. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But introduce yourself. Say hello, and like he said, if you've got any idea about doing your stuff, jump on. There'll be a link to the Discord, an invite link to jump on and create your own channel and just start getting in there, getting involved. Really appreciate it. Matty, thank you very much for your time. I know you're a busy man. Thanks for squeezing me in. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's been a great conversation.
Awesome. So you listening, you the viewer out there in TV land, as they used to say back when I was young, please look after yourself. Tell the people that you love them as often as you can, and take care. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Mm-hmm.